music going with this. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Fitness and Friends. I am your humble host, Dr. Bob Ruano. Today on the show, I'm very excited to introduce to you an amazing young athlete. Her passion for fitness combined with her disciplined approach to training has placed her at the top of her sport, CrossFit. I recently had the privilege and honor of competing with this ferocious competitor at the 2021 CrossFit Games. Her name is Delia Moises, and she is joined today by her coach, David Tate, owner of Risen Strength CrossFit. Guys, welcome to the Innovative Back Solutions Studios.
So cool.
This is nice, right?
It's very cool.
So, fresh from your first Games appearance, what'd you think?
Yeah, it was so much fun. It was like...
So you've been working at this goal for several years. I say many years, but you're only 15, but a lot of years. And, we can place, certain expectations in our heads as to what it's going to be like. Did it fall short or did it exceed them?
I think it was kind of like just what I thought it was going to be. It was really fun, and I just wanted to go into it to have a good time and do my best. Yeah. So I think I did that. It was really great meeting everyone from all the different countries and like even seeing the elite athletes, but also being on the big field. Oh, yeah. That was really cool.
Yeah, and being in the Coliseum. That was a pretty cool gig, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for me, I thought this particular year was probably my favorite year. In spite of like what I was dealing with, it was a blast because, I've been an island up to this point, and so to be able to do it with you guys was really, really cool. So we can talk a little bit more about like the Games experience. Like, what did you think, Coach?
Oh man, it was a blast. Like not only just being there supporting her, and her attitude the whole week was amazing and just such an inspiration. But then being there to see you and, with Farah kind of guiding us because you guys had been there so many times and just helping us along the way. It was just such a smooth, fun experience. Yeah. And then like going out to dinner on the last night and just hanging out, and oh man, it was just such a great time.
And you touched on it too. It's it's a highly competitive thing, but at the same time, everybody is like extremely humble, at least in the older divisions. I don't know what it's like in the younger divisions, but extremely humble, helpful, and it's just a great group, a lot of camaraderie, and friendships and relationships that you'll have for years to come. That's really cool. So, well, you didn't just wake up the day before the CrossFit Games, decide you're going to go do this. There is a multiple month process by which to get the invitation to go. Mm-hmm. Do you recall, like this year, how many were in the 14 to 15-year-old division?
I think about 1,500.
1,500 worldwide?
Yeah.
Okay. And so from that 1,500, if you're not familiar with how the open process goes, so anyone in the world can participate. You just have to find a CrossFit affiliate to do the workouts, the open workouts, or you can even do it at home. You just need to send a video, I think, of your workouts to qualify the score. And then from that, if you finish, was it just top 10%?
10%, yeah.
So in your case, of the 1,500 youth athletes, the top 150 have the qualifying event, and so from there, they whittle it down from that 150 to 20. So not a lot of chances or opportunities to make that cut, and you did it. So congratulations. But that's always been a goal of yours, yes? Yeah. So let's work backward a little bit. When did you start into CrossFit?
CrossFit, I started with kids classes around 2018.
Okay, so really it's been 3 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
And now, but you were in fitness or doing exercise stuff prior to that. Says you were a runner, yes?
Yes.
So this is unbelievable to me. So tell me a little bit about your running.
So I started running when I was in 5th grade. I started with like couch to 5K, and then I did that and did 5Ks for a little bit, and then I was like, okay, I'll do like couch to 10K. So I did 10K, and then I was like, well, I think a half marathon would be fun. So I just did that for a while.
And again, we're talking, this is as a 5th grader.
Yeah.
Gosh. All right. So, so what was it? Where did this drive come from? Like that you want to, because to run those kinds of distances, you've got to push your body and get uncomfortable
Right.
for long periods of time. And most, I mean, it's not a stretch. Most, they don't like getting uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
So what was it about you? What was it about running that drove you?
Well, like in PE when you have to run the mile each year.
Yeah.
So I knew that was coming. So me and my dad started running a mile like probably 5 months before the test each day just to get ready for it. And then I was like, well, this is kind of fun. I want to run more than a mile.
Yeah.
So I started Couch to 5K, and it was just like being able to run 3 miles without stopping. That was like a really big goal of mine. So once I got to that, I was like, well, that was really fun. Maybe I should set another goal. So just like I liked that it was hard and having something to push myself because school was good. Like I felt like I wasn't challenged much in school, and I wanted to be. So like finding something else to push myself, that was nice.
That makes complete sense. And so now we tell the viewers, school-wise, you're no slouch in school either, right? I mean, a lot of advanced classes, good grades. Man, all right. So I'm trying to punch some holes into this. There's got to be some
kink in the armor.
Yeah, haven't found it yet. So okay, so you take this running thing. So this is 5th grade into 6th grade. So at what point did you come across CrossFit?
My mom had been doing CrossFit for a couple of years. She started at Dynasty, and I was like, well, that looks fun, but I never really got into it. I liked running. And so I got stress fractures like my 6th grade year, so 2017. And obviously I still wanted to work out and like keep my aerobic base.
Yeah.
So starting like with body weight workouts and in the garage gym, and my mom like showed me some stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I got into it.
Okay. And then Coach David.
Yes, sir.
So when did y'all's path cross?
Oh, I don't know what year it was. We have a coach at our gym. Her name's Kelly, and she's really good friends with Delia's mom.
Okay.
So that's kind of our connection. And then
Got it.
Delia came to our gym, started working out with us, and really started becoming a part of our family at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
So right December, January, somewhere around there, really started becoming a part of our family. And then it was like, it became, where's Delia? If she wasn't there that day, where is she? You know, that kind of thing. And, it's just been a wonderful experience. And I still feel like we're still new to each other, right? We're still learning about each other. We're still developing that trust and rapport. And so it hasn't been that long, and I'm super excited to see, where it's going to go from here.
Sure.
As long as she's willing to stay with us,
Well, I think she is, which is crazy because, like I said, we've just gotten to know each other over the last 3 or 4 months. And, I mean, if you were to ask us, like, how far back you guys go, I think probably from, like, day one.
Oh, yeah.
But really?
We really clicked. I mean, and not only just me, but my wife and Rebecca, we're kind of like, we call ourselves Delia's pit crew.
Yeah.
So
that's what it takes.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of transitioning into the coaching of her, that's really been our philosophy is we're a team, right? It's not like, I'm trying to implant any kind of new ideas into her because, as you've said before, she's so driven. Yeah. She's so self-motivated. We just want to come around her and support her and, give her the tools that she maybe needs to, continue to move the needle and advance and get better and better. And that's been our approach so far. It's just that team approach. Yeah. We're really like a pit crew.
It's I mentioned this to you, like it's kind of like a responsibility. Like when you have your own children, you have the responsibility of caring for them, nurturing them. But when you're dealing with someone else's child, it doesn't mean to call you a child, young lady. I mean that's like you said, that's a lot on your shoulders. I would suspect.
Well, I mean, and the hard thing is you forget because she's so mature.
Oh yeah.
Right. You just forget that she's only 15. Yeah. Because she is so driven. She's so responsible in certain things, and then sometimes you're like, oh yeah, she's 15.
I know. I've got to watch my language sometimes. Just speaking normal, and I'm like, oh gosh, I probably shouldn't have said that.
Well, sorry about it's just that. The things that you don't expect, like the amazing work ethic, and the things that you expect to develop later on in life.
Yeah.
You know, she's got some of that stuff right now, which is incredible.
You know, my first hearing of you, I had mentioned. So my good friend Bernie has 2 daughters that same thing, just so focused and just like great human beings. But Ariana, your classmate, I trained around her. You know, probably when she probably was 12 or 13, and you know she went pretty much straight to the adult classes. But that was just it. Like she just always seen both of his daughters do, but Ariana, the way that she trained, always very adult-like and focused. And that's like where your name came up. She's like, oh, there's a classmate of mine. She's a really good CrossFitter as well. She has all the gymnastics and all the engine. And we were kidding earlier. Ariana is super strong. She's gone on. I think she took 2nd in states powerlifting as a sophomore this year. Wow. But yeah, if we combined you two, both the strength and the gymnastics and endurance, look out. Look out, Toomey. She's gone. She's gone.
That's a mega CrossFitter right there.
Mega CrossFitter, exactly. All right, so that's how you guys came about. So at what point you're doing CrossFit and you decide, I'm going to push my goal from doing classes to CrossFit Games?
I don't know if it was like CrossFit Games initially, but like once I started, I knew that I wanted to train a lot. Like I started in my garage with a pair of dumbbells, but I was still in there for like 2 or 3 hours during the summer, just like making up my own workouts, jump rope, burpees. I got a pull-up bar eventually. So just like, I think I saw people at the games and I was like, wow, that'd be so cool, but I don't know if I ever thought that I could do it. But I definitely, like once I started and shifted my focus, and I was like, I'm not just doing this so I can run when I'm better. I want to do it just to be competitive at it. I did my first competition the summer of 2018, and that was like super cool.
Which one was that?
Rex Rumble in Ocala.
Okay.
And I saw this girl who was in the older division. I was in like the 10 to 13, and she was in the teens, 14 to 17. I was like, wow, that is just so cool. There's like this clean complex at the end of the workout. And it was like a power clean, a hang power clean, a front squat, and a jerk, I think. And like, I don't even know what she hit. I think it was like 125. I just saw those big plates on the bar. And at the time I struggled with 65. I was like, how is that possible? That's so cool. Like she was my role model at that time. And I was like, so I guess
that's what it takes.
Teens can do it too. So that was kind of like when I wanted to go to the games, but I've always wanted to train a lot.
So for you, and again, like a lot of the guests I have on here, we have this ultimate goal, but the goal is kind of like the cherry on top. It's enjoying that process, the training process, and fine tuning things, and filling in the gaps, and working on weaknesses. That's really the secret to any of it. So that's pretty cool. All right, so now you've accomplished that goal. Done training now. Gonna move to something else.
No.
All right. So looking back at the games, have you had time to kind of review and say, well, I felt really comfortable and strong with this, but this particular aspect maybe not so much. I need some work.
Right. Yeah, I felt really good on the run. That was a highlight.
Yeah.
I mean,
by the way, so the very first event of the games, Elio's putting a clip of it up. It was just under a 4 mile. What turned out to be just under a 4 mile sprint, because everyone's crazy on the first event of the games, and like in our age division, we had 2 guys fall out. It's not that they can't run 3 3/4 miles. It was just that they were just going too hard. But my age division, the 50 to 54s, competed at the same time with the 14 and 15-year-olds. So it was really cool. So all week we got to compete together. And so this clip here is the end of the very first event as we're finishing that run. You want to cue that up?
Go!
All right, that lumberjack is kind of rolling in. That bowling ball.
Sasquatch shot.
And that's it. And the judges, as nice as they are, they're like, okay, that's good. Clear the field, please. Clear the field.
Yeah, that was the best. Get out of here.
You did great. Now move. So after that, I'd worked out with Delia over the summer between the age group qualifier and the games. But I didn't know the reaction. So this picture that he puts up afterwards, she was on the ground crying. I thought maybe she got hurt. She couldn't walk. I thought she hurt her ankle, so I was very concerned.
Such a great
But as it
photo.
turns out, that's just her normal efforts. When you're outside, your insides want to be on the outside. That's what happens to you. And so I'm glad that CompTrain or somebody captured that picture. That was one of my favorites. Awesome. She's like, I just finished a run. I'm okay. So anyway, thank you, Elio.
Yeah, that's the thing about
This is-
Delia when she's training. Like, when she's in it and she goes hard, at the end, there's usually some screaming and some yelling and some crying.
I
and
was
if
not
we have
aware.
new people coming to the gym, we have to say, it's fine. We're going to give her a minute.
I'll be
Yeah.
fine in a minute.
Yeah.
And then we'll check on her.
I had no idea. That was my first experience. I was like, oh, she did not get hurt in the first event.
Yeah.
She wasn't hurt. She wasn't hurt. And then afterward, we see a picture. I don't know if you guys.
That's
see that
one of
picture.
my favorite moments right there.
That's it. So after each event, you fuel up, right?
Yeah.
And what are we eating there? Are we eating Delia balls? Which we'll get into the Delia ball situation here in a minute. They're very addicting. But and then this is a picture of us afterward. The events are all done, and yeah, that was it. Great time. I wish we had that one picture we were doing the Rebecca.
Yeah, I think that was right after the
yeah,
Rebecca.
yeah.
So we were all cracking up about it. I think I did the best, and you guys were.
And we
Not good.
we
Not
didn't
good.
qualify. So yeah, so much fun. Like for me, like you said, my funnest games to date, because I was like experiencing it all over again for the first time through you. So thank you very much. And
Well, that was going to be kind of one of my questions for you, because you've done this so many times, right? And this was kind of our first experience at it. But we were like going into it, we had that sort of team idea,
Yes.
right? And then like you joined our team,
I loved
kind
it.
of like, and we were like, Bob's a
we
member
forced
of our
ourselves
team.
upon you. Yes.
And yeah, no, we loved it. We felt like, a big family doing this together. And,
Oh, yeah.
my question is, was there elements of that made it one of your favorite
Oh,
years? or-
absolutely. Yeah. And right, because Fair and I have gone up there. I think one year we took all the boys, or the older boys. It was crazy. And so that was, in retrospect, a lot of fun. Never do it again. No. But a lot of fun. And yeah, maybe one day we will do it again with them. But for the most part, yeah, just Fair and I were kind of an island.
Yeah.
And so yeah, to experience it, like I said, this year with you all and and her for the first time, it was like kind of doing it. It renewed my passion for it, for
Right,
sure.
and how cool that first event that you
Yes,
guys
that's what I'm
finished
saying. You
together.
cannot-
I mean,
Now
set
that-
the tone for the whole week. I think it was great.
I forgot to mention that even though it shows us finishing the race at the same time, the old people left a couple of minutes before the youngers. So she just made up a couple of minutes on us. So that's just to put that out there, because obviously I cannot run as fast as you.
No, it's
Nah.
close. It's close.
Not necessarily built for running. So, all right. So, like I said, now we were talking about like maybe some holes that you want to work on. So, what'd you take out of that? What's something that you want to work on between now and then? I mean, the Open is in the end of February.
Strength is like the really obvious one, like getting stronger for sure. But I do well with like the open style workouts, like classic CrossFit.
Yeah.
But things that like I wasn't prepared for, like doing double unders on the turf, or like having a bar that's chalky that I don't like.
Yeah.
Just things like that. So like adapting.
Yeah,
I think-
100%. 100%. That the jump rope on the turf, like, threw a lot of people off, and I think that's such a it's just it's a mental game, because it's something a little different. How do you handle that? Do you figure it out? Or do you just like say, oh, this sucks, this is not right, I can't believe they don't put mats down? Because I heard a lot of that. Like, oh, they couldn't just put mats down there. So, they can move hundreds and hundreds of pounds of weights, but I think that's the whole idea.
We saw a couple people throw their jump ropes on the ground in frustration.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I figured it out. Takes me a while to get a new skill, but I kept at it.
Yeah.
Kept moving.
That's
Slowly
it.
but surely.
That's it. You just got to realize if you're struggling, probably a lot of other people are struggling too, and you're all in the same boat. So, all right. So the strength piece. What do you do? What do you do about that, Coach?
So yeah, I mean, we had a team meeting the other day and just kind of talked about it. And one of the things about Delia is she's sort of, I think, physiologically well adapted for long distance stuff. Like that comes really easier for her, a lot easier for her. She can train that really well and has good positive adaptation. The strength stuff, and like she'll tell you if she needs to learn a new skill, she'll just lock herself in a room for hours until she gets it, and then comes out of
the lab and says, "Okay, I own that one."
So things that we can work on are going to be like just that really basic motor control adaptation, so that she can adapt to these new stimuluses that come at her. Just really basic coordination drills, agility drills, things like that will allow her to be able to think on the fly, switch things up, learn more about her body, how her body moves in space, really basic core foundational gymnastic stuff too, that you can really learn about your body, what it's doing in space and things like that. And then strength, we're just going to have to hit the barbells really hard and eat some more food.
And eat some more food. Well, and I think that's where like the mental piece comes in. Because to gain strength, that's a lot more calories. It's a slower process, and it's almost requires you to reduce some of that endurance stuff too.
And I think she knows, it's going to be a lot harder for her, right? The rest of the field maybe has better positive adaptation to getting stronger and getting bigger and things like that. So she's got to really dial that in and focus that in, and I think she knows that. And I mean, you've seen her work ethic, you've seen her drive, and all she's got to do is point that laser in that direction, and it's going to happen.
Yeah. And how do you do with that?
I think it'll be an adjustment, just because with endurance stuff, it's okay, I just have to put my head down and do this. Right. But I feel like with strength, it's also harder because I feel like I'm not doing the work. It's a lot of rest between sets. And
just 2 minutes between a set seems like an eternity, right?
100%. Yeah.
It is. It's very hard. For me, I have the inverse issue. Once the age group qualifier is done, and then the games, it's all cardio. It's all just work on the engine, and that means I lift less. That means my body changes, and my wife is rolling my eyes. My body changes, and I lean out for me, lean out. And it's kind of uncomfortable. I want to be benching and squatting and stuff. And but that doesn't move the needle towards the competitive aspect of the sport. So I understand it just on the reverse side of it. So it's a mental thing, right? Yes, I get it from. That's my coach. That's my pit crew right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but you're big into the nutrition aspect of it as well. You've got a nutrition coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I work with Mike from M2 Nutrition, track macros.
Okay.
It's been really helpful.
Mm-hmm. And so when you were young, the compression fractures. I mean, was that just from the high volume of running?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I definitely wasn't eating enough, but it was also just a lot of volume, 3 miles every day, half marathon on the weekend.
For a 5th grader, that's crazy. So you've always had it. You make your bed in the morning?
I used to, but now it's a loft bed, and I don't want to get hit by the ceiling.
Well, I was gonna say it's harder to make a bed in a loft. Okay, because I was gonna you strike me as somebody who probably makes their bed every morning.
Yeah, I have some routines. Put the sleep mask back on the pillow.
Sleep mask. Yeah. Oh, okay. You got one of those chilling pads too?
No, I want one. Yes. That'd be nice.
Yeah. It's on the wish list, babe. Right? Yeah.
It's on the wish list.
Well, I mean, there's no better performance-enhancing drug, if you will, than a good night's sleep.
Sleep, yeah.
All right. Let's see. What else do we have? So we mentioned now schooling-wise. Now, you at brick and mortar? You doing virtual?
So I was at brick and mortar all the way up until my 8th grade year when COVID hit. So I finished the rest of the school year, whatever was left, online. Okay. And then my first year of high school, I was able to do virtual school, which was really nice. I had a lot of free time. That was when I was able to start spending more time at Risen.
Yeah.
And that worked really well for my schedule. And then again this year, I'm doing virtual school.
Yeah.
It's really nice. And with COVID and all the masks, I feel like I wouldn't get the high school experience. And like,
Yeah.
I feel like they're not doing all the fun field trips and stuff.
It's a challenge, sure.
But my dad does want me to go back to school for like at least 1 year.
He does want you to go back. Okay.
Yeah, I think my senior year, I'll dual enroll at Santa Fe.
Oh, cool.
I'll also be 18.
What do you have an interest in?
Right now my plan is like a 2-year medical degree,
Yeah.
like respiratory therapy, because I don't really know what I want to do,
Yeah.
but I feel like
Get that background,
Yeah.
and you can, branch off to wherever you like from there.
yeah, I feel like it's a good place to start.
That makes sense. Particularly somebody who, you're obviously into fitness and nutrition and basic health, and I like that. I would bet on you for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So during the virtual school week, we talk about if you kind of working at that high level, you kind of have to be imbalanced. But it sounds like you're still able to kind of have, the best of all worlds. Succeeding in school, obviously succeeding in the gym, social engagement. Now, you hang out with a lot of old people.
That's right.
Young people.
You hang out with some young people too.
Young people too. Yeah, someone was like, well, do you have any friends? I'm like, well, actually, yes. I have friends from 3 to like 70. I hang out with everyone.
That's a great skill set to develop. Our kids a couple years ago, Griffin had said, he's like, I need to develop more of an ability to kind of just socialize and communicate with people.
Well, and we just did a summer camp, and she helped us out a lot with our kids program, which is kind of cool, like full circle for her, starting out in CrossFit Kids and then helping out.
Almost like giving back, yeah.
Our summer CrossFit Kids program, and just to see, her working with the kids, and then the kids, like Farrah made a point about how cool it is for the kids to look up to her.
Oh yeah.
Who's closer to their age than these old folks that are telling them what to do.
That's right.
He's got this young buck in there running around with him and playing the games with them. It's incredible.
Yeah,
cool.
that was such a cool program this summer. So
it was a lot of fun.
My son did
very
that
exhausting, but a lot of fun.
It was perfect.
Yeah,
it was perfect. Had a little a competition.
I think we even got Delia pretty tired during that week. Yeah,
that's an impossibility.
Right.
No, that's great. Well, I'll tell you what. So the Delia balls, by the way. Mm-hmm. What's in the Delia balls?
Peanut butter.
Don't give away all the secrets.
She makes these protein energy pellets. They're about that big, and they're just chock full of goodness.
It's everything the body needs.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's like a multivitamin, right?
Protein powder, oats, peanut butter, honey, chia seeds, and then whatever mixin you want. So sometimes chocolate chips, sometimes coconut, peanuts.
You have those certain types that like pumpkin spice.
Yep, just came out with the pumpkin spice flavor.
Very basic, babe. Very basic of you. I think they'll be a big hit this fall.
Oh yeah.
So where can people find you?
Instagram.
Yeah.
My Instagram is Delia Elizabeth.
Okay. There's a cool picture. Your whatever your profile picture is, hair's flying. I don't know if I've ever seen your hair down. Like you've always got the bun thing going on there.
Yeah. That picture is actually from a partner competition with Ariana that I did.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, cool.
What a team. Yeah. That's cool. All right. So on Instagram, how about you, David?
We're at Risen Strength CrossFit. That's where you can find me. I'm there all the time. Pretty much 6 days a week. Risen Strength CrossFit.
Awesome. Well, I have 2 final questions for you. All right. Now, normally I wouldn't give a 15-year-old this question because it's a bit esoteric and it requires some introspection and even some life experience. But like I said, you're a very different 15-year-old. So here's the question. Have you ever gone through a challenge or faced an obstacle where you felt like you can't get through it, and you felt so defeated that there's no getting around it, but yet you kind of kept that grind and saw your way through that challenging situation and came out the other side, and then looking back and saying, man, I am really glad that I endured that, because now I have a strength or an inner strength that will carry me forward.
Right. Yeah. I'd say probably the stress fractures because at the time, like running, that was really what I thought I wanted to do. Like I really enjoyed it and I had a goal. I signed up for like the first like official half marathon because I probably ran half marathons like every weekend for a couple months, but I hadn't done like an actual race weekend.
Right.
So I signed up for that and then like a month before I was like, okay, well I can't run. So that was just really tough.
Devastating, yeah.
Yeah. And I was just really upset for a while. But I think finding CrossFit was a lot better.
So it was that kind of redirected you to, all right, well, I still want to have that passion to train, finding CrossFit, and then 3 years later, you're at the top of the sport.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Final question. If you could pick one exercise, and I'm going to ask both of you this, one exercise that you could do for the rest of your life, but only one, what would it be?
I think I'm going to say the devil's press.
The devil's press. I promise you, I can have 100 guests, and none of them are going to say the devil's press.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good mix. You could do it really light and get your cardio, just like a burpee, or you could go heavier and it's more of like a strength exercise.
Yes.
I feel like it's full body, and it's just fun. Yeah.
It's just fun. And that's why we get Delia a lot. So if you're unfamiliar, devil's press is a burpee. So you have just some dumbbells, you do a burpee, and then when you stand up with the dumbbells, they're going straight overhead in one continuous movement for reps.
Wow.
Yeah, that's okay. Top that one, David.
I don't think I can. And also, I think you stole the best one already.
The TGU.
The TGU. I think
that
yours
came
is
from
the best one.
From Chris,
so
I agree.
If I'm not allowed to copy that answer, which I'm not, so I'm gonna go with, I think the snatch. I think it's got to be the snatch.
Oh, it's a beautiful movement.
Yeah, I think it covers all the 10 general physical skills right there.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
There's a skill to it. There's mobility to it. Strength, power, speed.
And I'm terrible at it.
So we all have room
chase
for
your
improvement.
weaknesses, right?
That's right. Well, guys, thanks for coming on the show today.
It's been awesome.
Thank you.
And like I said, this past games season has like been my favorite by far. And like I said, if you're not going next year, I'm not going. So a lot riding on your shoulders. And thank you for joining us this week. I hope I guess I try to come up with the takeaway from today's show, and I would say this. Use this young lady as an example. Now, gosh, 15 years old, so focused, so driven. It's just super impressive to be around. But even in her early young journey, that injury, that compression fracture injury, forced her to change direction. And who knows? Who would have known that? 3 years later, she's worked herself up to, like you said, the top of her sport. So maybe you're dealing with a little challenge or an obstacle and need to change direction. It's okay, because there's probably something bigger and better for you on the other side anyway. Hope that helps. Have a great week, guys. Well done.
All right.